Welcome down the rabbit hole, friends. I just got home from work and I was shocked to find that Paedon Brown, the son of Cody and Christine, gave an exclusive interview all about tea involving the sister wives. If you'd like to see the interview in its entirety, you can find the link below. The interview was 3 hours long. I'm going to use this video to highlight the parts I thought were the most interesting. Paedon had a lot to say about Robyn, Janelle, Cody, and even his own mom, Christine. Now, we all know that Gwen Brown has had some issues with Paedon. She's brought it up before, and we don't know all the specifics, but Paedon's been called a bully, that he's bullied some of his siblings in the past. I follow Paedon's TikTok account, and I've really come to like what he has to say. He seems like he talks, some sense that a young 20-something-year-old boy would have about a family with multiple wives. So I am interested in what he has to say, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that right now.
Fangirling pretty hard over you being here right now.
Thank you.
So check out John Yates' YouTube page to see the interview in its entirety. It is so long and it is so awesome. Here we go, friends. Okay, at the start of the interview, it's so interesting because it turns out that Paedon's like, you have to talk to me about what you guys have been seeing on the show because there's stuff that's going on that's aired already on the tell-all that you might want me to talk about, but there's stuff coming up that's going to air later and I don't want to talk about any of that yet. So I guess there's a lot more tea to come with the sister wives.
And Robyn doesn't like being the scapegoat. I think that's...
okay.
So John Yates and his co-hosts are like, yeah, Robyn doesn't like being the scapegoat in this tell-all, and you can tell that Paedon has no love lost for Robyn.
Of course she doesn't like being blamed for things she did. What? I didn't say that. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're okay.
No, we didn't hear that.
Oh my gosh, the kids have been through so much. And some of them have really nice things to still say about her, but it does seem like Christine's kids, they're like, we don't like that WITCH. Paedon makes it clear that he pays attention to what the fans say, and he notices that everybody thinks Robyn cries way too much on the show, but he's like, is she really crying? I don't see any tears.
I thought it was established in the fandom that maybe she's never actually shed an actual tear on the show. Have we all accepted that? That potentially she's never shed an actual tear. Now I'm gonna get the ladies' information.
And this is where Paedon goes into a little bit of a diatribe against women. So many people say that they see a lot of Cody in Paedon. And basically Paedon's like, women are really good at fake crying.
Women fake crying. Women can fake cry far better than men can fake cry. Am I correct from the 3 ladies on here?
I can only answer for me and myself, but I know that I cry a lot when Cody doesn't answer my cameo messages. Paedon continues his diatribe by being a little snarky towards Gwen. He's basically like, look, Gwen flat out told me she faked tears to get what she wanted.
Gwendolyn has actually told me in the past that she would say ouch when I'm around just to get me in trouble. Like, I'm legitimately quoting her.
I think Paedon doesn't always have the best thoughts and feelings towards women, but let's give him a break. That kid's been through a lot. But veering away from the Gwen thing and getting back to the host question, does Robyn spend a lot of time crying in real life?
She cries all the time, but I don't know if I've ever seen her actually shed a tear, if that helps. But, like, she's her own person. Her children come first in her mind, so...
Yeah, I can't blame Robyn for putting her children first, but I can blame Cody for marrying someone else, letting her take over the family, and forgetting that he has a ton of other children with other women that he needs to be putting first. It's time for Paedon to address the elephant in the room. Tell us all about all of the work and sacrifices that Robyn has made, which she brings up repeatedly in the tell-all.
Yeah,
so many sacrifices. She married a man who was becoming wealthy and who wanted to take care of her children. That's a big sacrifice right there.
We all forget. Robyn has been through so much.
She moved her children away from a place that they didn't like and she didn't like to a place that they started to like.
You know what I don't like? The fact that Cody basically makes every one of his wives, not just Robyn, follow him all over the country, moving constantly, ripping his kids from random schools that he makes them attend for a year or two. And when they start fitting in, it's like, bye-bye, see you later, cutting the cord, moving to a new place. I feel bad for Robyn's kids, but how is any other child in that family suffering any less? At least Robyn's kids get to live in a McMansion.
And work? Well, she did a few things for a few weeks, a few times.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think Robyn's been doing a lot of work that someone like Paedon just wouldn't be aware of. But beyond that, what about my sister wives' closet?
Into it. She did try. But then it failed hard and bad.
It's still up.
It's apparently still up. I did not know that. That is news to me. Yeah, no, my sister's wife's closet is not what it was supposed to be.
Paedon spends some time making horrified faces and rolling his eyes regarding Cody's COVID rules. And now he's going to tell us a little bit about how each of the children were treated pretty differently when it comes to whether or not they're allowed to stay in the home of their parents because Cody arbitrarily decided certain children weren't following the rules.
Dad attempted to kick Garrison and Gabe out of Janelle's house because he makes it very, very clear. These are Janelle's kids in Janelle's house. This is Christine's kids in Christine's house. He makes it very, very clear versus our kids. So yeah, we all know that's Janelle's house he tried to kick Janelle's children out of.
I really love my husband, and he only has one wife, but he better never, ever F with my kids.
But for some reason, Dayton is definitely in an RV outside of Robyn's house.
Okay, so allegedly Dayton is on the autism spectrum, and I don't know what his needs are or if he even has any needs because the spectrum is so wide and varied, and many of you know that I have a son on the spectrum as well who is amazing and fabulous and can do anything with his life, and Dayton seems to be one of those people. He's in college and he seems to be doing well, so I'm not sure if he has more needs than some of the other kids, so he would need more help. Who knows? As a mother, I would always put my kids first, and if I could afford an RV for one of my kids to help them out, I would. Of course, what's bothersome about all of this is that Cody doesn't seem to have a problem helping Robyn's kids, but his own children with his other wives, he's like, F them.
Yeah, he's almost 21, and he's living in an RV outside his mother's house. And I really, 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 really hope that she learns how to cut the umbilical cord because he is an incredible guy. Dayton is an incredible brother and an incredible person.
Oh, that's so awesome to hear. One of the things I love about the Sister Wives is that they did take Robyn's children in from a prior marriage. There were some issues going on. Supposedly Dayton, like I said, Robyn said he was on the autism spectrum, and yet they took him in and they embraced him. I know some people have said that Robyn's children weren't treated well. I mean, that's not what I saw on the show. I mean, who knows? I don't live with them. Maybe someday I will because I am planning to be the fifth wife, but for now, I have no evidence. I have no clear evidence of what's going on, but it's great to hear Paedon say something so nice about Dayton, and Dayton seems to have come a long way with his life. He's doing great. I don't care if he lives in an RV or he's attached to Robyn or whatever. What I really care about is the unfairness of how Cody has treated the other kids on the show, and it really seems like he's so absent from their lives now, even on all their social media pages, which is where I would go to see what's really going on in these people's lives, because we know that a lot of the show is very fake. But on the kids' social media pages, their dad is not present. He's not attending things with them. He's not coming to holidays. He's really absent. And I think that says a lot.
Brianna, it's been a long time since we actually interacted, but from the memories that I have, she became an immediate daddy's girl and can do no wrong in dad's eyes. And then Solomon and Ariella are basically the exact same thing.
So this was interesting. I think Cody and Robyn did a disservice to their kids, to Brianna, Solomon, and Ariella, because once you start treating a certain child or a certain group of children better than all the rest, it's going to create friction even among their relationships. It's kind of sad to think about how not only Have they been excluded like physically because they no longer live in the same home together and a lot of the relationships are unwinding and coming apart? But on a psychological level, like a lot of the other kids, they feel that they've been treated so different from these children, that they have such a different life, that there's less of a bond between all of them. Robyn's kids have been treated so differently. Now we're going to hear a little bit about how much Paedon hated the COVID rules.
The rules he created. I am absolutely blown away. I'm still blown away by it. He's taught me my entire life, be your own person, be an individual, do what you feel is right. He's taught me my entire life. I was raised by a great man. I had an incredible father.
I just want to address, I've heard this from other people on the show as well. It's kind of like they've seen a big change in Cody. And I totally get that. I actually feel like in my own life with many men that I've known and women as well, but I've definitely noticed it in many fathers, men, uncles, that there comes a stage in life when they get a little bit older where they start to change in certain ways. And we all do, you know, hormones change, things about our brains are changing. We have to acknowledge some of that. Cody is getting older. But instead of growing older with one wife and one group of children, one family, and they're all kind of growing together, he sort of gets to keep restarting and staying back in the stage of having young kids, and he's sort of stuck there. But one of the big changes that I see with Cody is like he's gained a lot of fear and also a deep desire to keep things like very much the same. Like he wants his bed to be a certain way. He wants things to be done the same way in one home as they are done in another. And I just want to put out there that I have seen this happen with other people in my life as they get older. I do still fault Cody for being an ass about all of it, but I do think some of it could be like biological and part of the death process that Cody is probably going to go through over the next 30 years. You know, he's just getting older and he seems to be really craving for things to be like a very specific way all the time. Many of the children and at least one of the other wives have said that like Cody used to be a really good dad. He used to thrive more in polygamy. I know like I am not a fan of the fact that he has so many wives, but when we look back at like earlier episodes and we hear a lot of the stories about the family when even before the show came on, it seemed like he played a really big and positive role in the minds of many of these kids.
And then he changed.
Nice to hear.
He turned into a different human being. And then he's telling me, oh no, we have to follow these exact rules, but I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to do this. And you're all not going to do these things. And I'm like...
I think most of us agree that Robyn probably had a role in all of this. I theorize that she really talked up what was going on with COVID, and she had a lot of like big insecurities about whether or not her youngest kids were going to be okay. Whatever you may think about COVID, the issue is that it's not good for people's psychological condition to be so isolated all the time for so long, especially for children.
And I can't cut myself off from people. But Dad wanted me to cut myself off from all human contact for 2 weeks. Basically, go to work, don't talk to anybody at work, come home from work, go straight to my room, stay in my room.
That's not fair, and it bothers me because Cody and Robyn are at a certain stage in their life, right? They are at a stage where they could have quarantined more easily than a lot of other people. They had money. They're older. Their kids are older. They had a nanny. They had help. They had a big, beautiful house. They were just in an ideal situation to lock themselves away and do whatever they wanted for, I guess, almost 2 years. That's not the situation that everybody was in. Younger people who have to work, who have to go to school, people who don't have anyone that they live with, who get very lonely, very young children, children with autism. I mean, there were just a lot of different needs that people had during COVID. And he is the one who chose to have all of these kids, all of these family members who had different needs. It's like Cody wanted everyone to base their entire lives around his need, only him. What works best for him had to work best for everyone. And that's not fair when you have all of these people in different stages of their lives. Okay, when it comes to why did the family end up moving to Arizona, Paedon he basically confirms that they were looking at several places to move, especially a lot of places in Utah, which would have been good for them because they would have been closer to family. But in the end, it's like Dayton got accepted to this college, and that's what drew them to Arizona.
And then Dayton got accepted to NAU.
I knew it. I knew it.
But Paedon also makes it clear that his dad has this, he says Cody has a problem with getting like 7-year itches, where almost every 7 years he wants to move and do something new. So basically, the reality was they were going to move and uproot their lives regardless of what was going on with Dayton.
Dad gets 7-year itches, where for 7 years he's on this bender, and then 7 years away, where he's this.
Something interesting is that Paedon seems to be like really annoyed with Robyn and basically saying like she can't let go of her kid. She couldn't let go of Dayton. That Dayton was basically like, hey, I'm out. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm so excited about going off to college. This is great. And Robyn was like, okay, we're going to have to move over there to be there with him. Can't leave him.
Dayton had nothing to do with this. Dayton like, okay, guys, I'm out. I am free. I'm going to go live my life. I'm 18 and I got accepted to college. Goodbye. If Robyn knew how to clip an umbilical cord, Dayton would have been free.
Paedon is flat out like, Robyn cannot cut the cord with Dayton or her other kids. And Dayton is fine with being free. Basically, we all had to uproot our lives, essentially, so that Cody could please Robyn.
Let's do this thing. Let's uproot our entire family and these 4 houses that we worked so hard for.
But sadly, Paedon also admits that even in Vegas, they rarely saw their dad. And whenever they would go over to Janelle's house or Janelle's kids would come to their house, if Cody wasn't around, they would just all be like, oh yeah, of course, he's at Robyn's house.
And be like, hey, where's Dad? Not here. Okay, he's at Robyn's house. We knew.
And what was the main excuse they used for all of this?
Solomon and Ariella are so young and they need their dad. And I'm like, Dad went on a nearly 2-week-long vacation with Robyn alone when truly had just been born.
So unfair, so wrong, and I cannot respect Robyn for never acknowledging any of this.
Wow.
Robyn found a man that wanted to take care of her kids for her and who would pay for basically everything she wanted. So yeah, good for her.
I don't know. It just all makes me so sad. I really hear and see a lot of frustration like oozing out of Paedon. And this is how I feel everyone should be feeling about what's been going on with Robyn and that family. And for the most part, people act like, oh, we just want to be a good, happy family. I mean, I think Christine, Mary, and Janelle really do try to be like, oh, we just want to get along. And so have most of the kids. So it's interesting to finally see someone voicing what I've kind of been feeling for them on the inside. Like, this sucks and it's wrong. And, you know, I don't want to shade Robyn. Like, okay, she had children. She was looking for a good situation in which a man would take care of her. And, you know, I don't shade that. That's okay. But to get involved in this like whole polygamy sister-wife thing and then just kind of push and shove your wives out of the way to get whatever you wanted, and in the end to not stand up and say like, okay, Cody, like, this isn't right. I can't respect you if you're not taking care of your other children too. To just be like me, and be fine as long as you and your kids are getting what they need, that's wrong, and I don't like it.
She's a wonderful mother to her children, but holy hell, she ruined.
Was that one of the sacrifices she made, Paedon?
Did you hear what Paedon almost said? I'm pretty sure he was about to say, holy hell, she ruined a family. Oh, that's so sad. And yeah, I think that, I don't know. I walked into watching The Sister Wives with this whole idea of like, hey, this is kind of cool. I could use a sister wife in my own life. Like, I could be into this. I like different ways that people live. And like, maybe could be interesting to watch and see. And I'd like to live in a commune where people help each other. This seems great. And it almost seems like they were so much better off when they had less money and they were struggling or whatever before Robyn came into the family. It's sort of like, yeah, she destroyed what she claims she really wanted. She destroyed it.
Robyn sacrificed a shitty job that she hated. Robyn sacrificed alone time with her kids. Those are the only 2 I can think of. I have no idea what he means by...
Really, she just sacrificed all of Cody's other families to have what she wanted.
Sacrifices? What sacrifices has Robyn ever made? Oh no, she lives in the most expensive house she's ever been in her life.
But there are other more expensive houses, Paedon, and she needs those too.
Wow.
Oh no, her children are completely provided for. Oh my God, no. She has a man that actively loves her and would give up his fucking children for her. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but all I can think about is the succubus who took down Chef on South Park. Another bit of sad tea is that Paedon lets us know that Isabel was really brokenhearted, that Cody didn't come and support her during her surgery.
Isabel was brokenhearted. Isabel was absolutely brokenhearted.
Guys, this is only a short 20 minutes of what Paedon had to say in a 3-hour interview. It was so amazing. I especially love what he had to say about his mom, Christine. I'll just add it in the end here. And when it comes to his mom, Christine, Paedon 100% knows she's perfect.
Being raised by my beloved mother, who has no faults at all. She does, everyone. She does. She's wonderful. She is wonderful.
Christine is a saint and has no faults. We love her. So go ahead.
Yeah.
This was such a cool interview. I had so much fun watching it. It was so fun. And I love this YouTube channel, John Yates. This is the first time I've clicked on it. I think they normally do 90 Day Fiance type stuff, which is really cool. I'm so glad that he did this interview. Click on the link below. Thank you so much for watching it. I can't believe Peyton gave this interview. Thanks for joining me down the rabbit hole. It's time for me to finally head to bed. I look forward to seeing you again down my next rabbit hole.